Hey there, Rich Horizons. In this session, we're going to delve into the relationship you have with time. By now, you're aware that life is a strategy game centered on resource management. Your success in life hinges on how adept you are at maximizing the limited resources you can access. Everyone is given roughly 4,000 weeks at birth, which equates to about 77 years. Some may get a bit more, others less. Picture a grid displaying all your 4,000 weeks. Each horizontal line represents a year, with 52 weeks per year, and each horizontal block signifies a decade, with 520 weeks per decade. If you're in your mid-30s, you quickly grasp just how much of your life has already passed. Visualizing it emphasizes the time you have left and should stir a desire to avoid wasting it. You've heard of the concept of being a time billionaire before. 1 billion seconds is around 31 years, and if you believe you've got at least another 31 years in you, well, congrats. You're a time billionaire, a status few actual billionaires can claim. How does it feel knowing you possess something that the wealthiest people in the world would probably kill for if they could? Feels pretty great, right? We guarantee that any rich person would trade half their fortune to be half their age. In fact, most would trade it all because time is the one thing money can't buy. You can buy time efficiency, sure, getting things done faster, but you can't add more time. What if you thought of time as currency? At birth, everyone is credited with 2.5 billion time coins, and with every breath and moment, life charges you a continuous subscription to keep playing this game. Everyone knows time is the most valuable currency in life, so it should be spent wisely. Yet, often, we find ourselves wasting it stuck in traffic or watching old TV show reruns. It's safe to say most people are poor spenders of time. Most people go through life in a state of confusion. Many claim they want to do something, like become investors, but they don't have any money. Well, invest your time instead. Early in life, there's nothing with a lower overhead than investing your time. There's nothing that gives you the kind of return you can get on time because you're so abundant with it. Being a time billionaire puts you in an incredible position. When you've got more time, you have less to lose, making it easier to take chances on big dreams. Abundant time means you can recover from mistakes with less impact on your overall life trajectory. It gives you the luxury of trying things and thinking about your wealth as time highlights the opportunities for redemption and new beginnings. A concept we've shared with the people in our Reinvent Mastery course is that of decade-long living. What if every decade you decided to try something new, to live a different life? In your 20s, you party and try things out. This decade is all about figuring out who you are, what you like and dislike. By the time you're 30, you should know enough about yourself to not Peter Pan your life away. In your 30s, you go super hard on solving money for the rest of your life. Overnight success takes, on average, 7 to 10 years. Then in your 40s, you could try becoming a painter or whatever art you choose, dedicating a decade to it and seeing how far you can take it. And so on. Can you believe most people live a single life their entire 4,000 weeks? What's the point of being a time billionaire if every day looks the same? Don't live the same week 4,000 times and call it a life. What's the point of having this abundance of time coins if you only get to experience a tiny fraction of what life can offer you? We've always found the phrase, "live today like it's your last," to be pretty poor advice because the only way you get the maximum return on it is if you really die tomorrow. Since you're probably going to be alive for a longer time, it's an underperforming strategy. If you do it right, the present improves the tomorrow, and before you know it, tomorrow becomes today. In life, you want to be directionally correct, not destination perfect. This means dedicating chapters of your life to specific goals like family life or wealth building so you can set your life up accordingly. Having a directional plan, a bird's eye view of what each chapter of your life should be like, gives you the unique opportunity to check off most of the boxes you pick for yourself. This exercise takes away the anxiety of tomorrow, the feeling of not knowing what to do with yourself. You might think you want the creative freedom to do what you want with your life, and that putting things in chapters might cause more stress, but you would be wrong. Extra stress and anxiety often result from people freestyling through life or making things up as they go. This is incredibly exhausting for both the brain and the soul. You grow up when you realize that regret is the bitter taste of time misspent. Think about it. All that regret is that you could have done something different with your time, but you wasted it. Wasted time is a life unlived, and an unlived life is the ultimate form of regret. And that's what you're trying to avoid, Rich Horizons. Viewing time as a form of wealth shifts the focus from material accumulation to experiences and personal fulfillment. It's incredibly dangerous to trade the bulk of your time wealth for material wealth and not even be able to enjoy it. Our personal goal is to maximize the quality of our life and that of those we care about for as long as possible. It took a while, but others have begun figuring this out too. There's even a term for it now called life maxing. There are different moments in life for different things. One should be able to brute force their way into progress. And by brute force, we mean delivering a volume of effort consistently. You want to have the self-control to quiet the voice in your head that tells you to crash on the couch instead of going to the gym. You want to be victorious over it. You grow up when you know when the time is right for leveraging resources and when. There's simply no way around effort. We're going to teach you a technique that we personally used to turn our business around in the early days. This is incredibly valuable and effective if you're going through a downturn in your life or if you're looking to accelerate growth in the next 6 to 12 months. Okay, so we call it day batching, and you're supposed to use it when leaps are necessary. Here's our personal story of how we turned our company around back in 2013 to 2014. Our media business relied on search traffic as the primary driver of revenue. We owned one of the largest luxury media publishers in the world, but suddenly Google decided to change their algorithm. Some of you in this space might remember the Panda and Penguin updates. Our revenue dropped 50% in a single day and by another 35% before the end of the month. All the while, we had employees and hard costs to maintain. These are the moments when you really want to quit. Somebody else changed the rules of the game you've invested so heavily in playing. But you always have to make a choice. This is what we wanted to do with our life. This is what the current chapter was about. So we couldn't quit. We were still time billionaires with thousands of weeks ahead of us, impacted by what we were about to do next. The only way out, we figured, was through brute force. You don't control what other people are doing, but you can control what you do with your time. So we put together an effort-based plan where if we deployed consistent effort, we knew we could get out of the hole. Most problems in life can be solved through discipline. We would wake up at 5 a.m., go through the list of the day's priorities, have coffee, shower, and by 6 a.m., we were already working. We pushed as hard as possible until around noon when we would take a break to eat and sometimes have a nap. By 1 to 1:30, we were back at work until 6 to 7 p.m. We needed to move fast, so we doubled our work windows because the fires were burning. No more sports, no more distractions. This was the rest of our life we were fighting for. Since nothing delivers a higher ROI on your life than your own time and effort, we doubled the returns we got daily. We treated the morning as a full workday and the afternoon as another one. We committed to doing it for a full year, non-stop. It took us 8 months to not only recoup our losses, but add a couple of $1 million to our company's valuation too. When we rebuilt, we did it smarter, future-proofing our company so it's not dependent on other platforms or people for success. And this has never been truer than it is right now.